making people believe is fact. The truth is, now, where people are faulting the woman is, we understand this is your first child, and you care, and the kind of, if you feel like this man is living the kind of life you don't want, why did you not fight for the custody of the child? That boy lived without you for 17 years. I can say to some extent, the Baba is crazy. The Baba is, he single-handedly trained
That
those
boy lived
kids.
without him for how many years?
Well, I think around 17 years. I think
Ma?
it was around, yeah, I think it was around 5 or so when the woman left. So I think from the story, like, he lived without the woman for 17 years.
For 17. Okay,
Yes.
Bia Mato 20.
Sharon, around that time. So, and I, from what we were hearing, they were like, okay, it was at the point that the boy started making 1 or 2 eat, then the mother showed up. Like I'm saying, from what we had. But the truth is, as your children, fine, the Baba chases you out of the house. Good story. You could have fought for the custody of the children. But now, if the Baba's narrative is that if he had single-handedly raised up those kids from that young age, kò easy fún ọkùnrin láti raise àwọn ọmọ from that little ọmọ kékeré to that adult tán wà yẹn. Now, if he has successfully raised them to that, okay, at the point that they are making limelight, that the boy is making a little bit of limelight and clinical. And at that point, the mother wants to come back to his life, or people are saying that, oh, he does not have any right to it. That his wife, you cannot cut off the man out of his life. Definitely no. Now, all what we are saying is, this boy, when he died, he came from, according to the narration that really tallied from people's different angles, that they went to a show. When they went to show, they came back, and after coming back, probably they had a little differences where at the show had an injury. But you, the wife, you were there. Both the outing, when they were out, when they came in, and when the boy died. You could not specifically come and tell us this is what happened. This was what, there has been allegation against you when before the boy died. Now, this that you're after his life too. But the truth is, nobody is saying that the Malians should not face any wrath. The Malians should face, they should take their part, in their own punishment. You understand? They should take their own punishment for bullying them. But the truth is this, he had a deal with them, he had everything with them. That is not to say that they should have any reason to bully him or one thing. That is their own end. They should get justice for that. But we are talking about what actually paid this boy. What paid this boy? You are the wife, you were there all through this whole thing, process till a lot of things went wrong. You as the wife, you could not say this is what by this guy. This is what went wrong. And a lot of things that narrative you were giving does not match. Does not match at all. You were just looking for one excuses, one excuse, and everybody coming out to give to testify. They are all indirectly pointing that if you really want the true story, ask this guy. This lady rather, ask her what went wrong with this guy. You are the only one everybody is saying at the point that everybody left and nobody was, you both were there. It was at the point that this guy was almost giving up. He could not even talk. He could not even say anything anymore. That you shouted for help, or you raised alarm. What happened at this moment? What happened? So that's why people are saying that. Fine. From the story, like even at the point when he died, And another point that he was saying he was bullied. Mali was not in Nigeria. We understand and we know definitely this guy was bullied online. We understand that one. But was the bully could the bully could be part of what probably made him lose some consciousness or something? Fine. It could be part. But what we are saying is walk by this boy. If you as the wife cannot say this is what happened, this is what by this guy, and this guy has been making an allegation against you that even you after his life, and all you have been doing is covering up a lot of stories that are not really in resonate. Then you become the primary suspect. It was you you were there at the point that this guy died. What narrative have you got to tell us? So if everything should be that, come and tell us what happened. Come and tell us. That's my point.
Hello, sir.
I
I
mean,
heard your submission, and I just have one question for you. From everything you have said, I know you are saying that she should come and tell everybody what pie the guy. So, are you guys now saying that if she doesn't really, so does it mean that somebody cannot just live and die, or medical negligence cannot kill somebody?
thank you for that question. We are talking about somebody who went out to perform
Yeah.
last night. Are you with me? Somebody who went to perform at the show last night, came back this morning at midnight, say came back around 12 and was still up around say around 2. They see those guys that gave stories, they were still see them until probably they entered. Truthfully, he sustained injury at the hand. But before this guy died, before this guy died, himself and the wife were inside. They could hear them arguing. You understand? From those guy witnesses that were saying, they could hear them argument. They could hear their argument one way or the other, that one way or the other. And then within like 4 around, I said when the day broke, it became that this guy is unconscious. He could not even say this, he could not even say that.
Okay.
And
You said they were, okay, sorry. Let me let you finish.
oh, and nobody's giving any story of what really went wrong. You understand? What really went wrong about that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, because you know what? I'm a nurse. And sometimes I find it so funny how people feel. Let me tell you, from everything we've heard so far, that this boy has, because him being bullied, he became depressed and is also hypertensive. Do you guys know that hypertension is a silent killer? Hypertension does not have any symptoms. High blood pressure, it doesn't have those symptoms. Sometimes when people go and check their blood, you can be walking healthy, walking around, your blood pressure can be 200 over something. That is why you find out that in Nigeria, so many people have stroke because they don't check their blood pressure. In Nigeria, you see somebody will just say, oh, this person slumped and died because of the person being hypertensive. So with that depression and hypertension, and this person, according to what they said, he has a cut. There is no way he will be unconscious and he will still be alive for him to talk to the nurse. There's no way for that. Now, because according to what we've heard, I wasn't there, but from everything that they've said and from what the nurse also said, that he met him conscious. She talked to him. They both talked. He even asked her question and she answered, and this and this and this. For him to have stayed to that extent. So we all should just believe it's medical negligence. That is it. It's
Okay.
medical negligence, because if they give him tetanus, sometimes that is why before you give anybody medication, whether it's injection or tablet, the first thing you're going to ask, do you have, if the person has allergy, you don't know whether the tetanus shot the nurse gave to him, whether is allergic to something. And this is a nurse who work out of her scope of practice. Technically, you being an auxiliary nurse, you cannot give IV. Even here, I live in America. As a nurse, I'm not an IV nurse. I only just do basic care. So me not being an IV nurse, I cannot go to give an IV to a patient because one, I'm not an IV nurse. I have not been trained to give IV because IV, when you give medication through IV, it goes straight to the bloodstream. That is why it's the fastest way of when somebody wants to recover. That's why you find that when they bring somebody to the hospital and the person is maybe low blood sugar or the person is in the shock, what brings the person back? They will open the line and put normal saline just to keep the line moving and to revive the person back. So maybe when the nurse gave him the IV, because when you give IV, you need to monitor the patient. That is why you do 15 minutes vitals every 15 minutes for 1 hour, because you might give an IV, you might put it in the vein and it goes out of the vein. It goes to the other bloodstream. That is where the problem is. So the nurse never work within her scope of practice, because technically the nurse she's the person who did everything. It's just so sad that she was there. They called her to it. Even over here, if you are a nurse and you make any mistake, even if a doctor gives you an order, tells you give this person so medication, and you did not, that's why you find out that sometimes nurses don't catch all these allergies. By the time those medication goes through pharmacy will now call and say, oh, we can't give this person this medication because this person has allergy to this medication, or this medication is going to counteract this person. So we have to call the doctor back and say, okay, pharmacy, the doctor will now say, okay, give another medication. So you being a nurse, if a doctor gives you an order and you are not looking at that order, you are not checking things, and you say because doctor has giving you an order to go ahead, and you give a medication without checking the expiration date, and something happened to the patient, they're not going to hold the doctor. They will hold you responsible because you were the one who gave it. So in as much as we feel so bad for the nurse, because it's medical negligence, and medical negligence is something that it can be argued if she has a good nurse, even though they're going to give her a J10, it might not be up to 5 years, because we all could see. Because one, if she was a registered nurse and she has she's licensed under Nigeria Nurses Guild or whatever, first and foremost they will take her license, and license will be invoked, because you as a nurse, you're not supposed to work in the house. But all the fault the nurse did, she never worked within a scope of practice. And you're coming to treat somebody. Okay, you know that sometimes there's what they call antidote. Because sometimes when you give a medication, if it goes through the wrong way, you give an antidote immediately to bring the person back. You never came with an antidote to say, okay, she was just running outside to go give. So in as much as we think tetanus injections are, it's deadly. That is why you find out that when you have a cut, they will tell you to take a tetanus shot. We don't know whether the tetanus shot the nurse gave is an expired one. She must not have even looked at it to look at the date. So these are the medical negligence that the nurse did. So people now saying that Wunmi knew what happened and everything. She and her husband may argue. Mohbad is a big and a tall guy. So it doesn't mean that Wunmi can just beat him. If there was something going on in that house, the nurse wouldn't have met him being conscious. It would have been unconscious. But she said he was conscious. That is, he could talk, he could recognize him, he could do this, he could move. So it is just made, in as much as we all looked at it, maybe they have issue, they might have argued, but it just happened that way. Because I've seen so many times that people just say, oh, this person slump and die. But they can't think, oh, it's somebody that did it. No, it's hypertension. Most Nigeria has high blood pressure. And even high blood pressure is more synonymous to Black Americans. Even here, I watch what I eat. I check my blood pressure. Sometimes you will find out, because when the blood is overflowing, that is what leads to stroke. If you are lucky, you have stroke. If you're not lucky, it puts you down and the person slump. So please, let's, in as much we all can establish that fact that there was a medical negligence, we can move forward. But if we are not establishing the fact that there was medical negligence, we can't move forward. There won't be an end to this thing. The corona, the nurse has gone. And you people find out that anything you say under law is taken as being the truth. Because it will be used, as I say, don't say it. They all gave their testimony under oath. And Wunmi have said what she knows. Everybody have said what they knew. The police did a thorough investigation. Because if you keep saying, oh, this and this, we are not agreeing, that is, we are bringing down the judiciary system. The judiciary, the judge has given a verdict. And after the judge gave a verdict, people came back to start saying the judge did not. In as much as we all want fact, law is based on evidence. It's not based on emotion. That is why you find out that you cannot prove voodoo in the course in the law courts. Because in as much we say, oh, this person did it. If there is no evidence, if there is no fact, they've interviewed them, they've asked them questions, they've done everything, they've taken their statement. The judge has looked at everything. And the problem most Nigeria also has is that most people don't even read the CTC. These things are there for us to read, to digest and understand. But the problem with most Nigerians, they believe in listening to third and fourth party. This one said this, because if we all say Wunmi is not saying the right thing, in life, nobody says the same thing all and all and all and all and all. That is why, but the one that is fact, it's going to be consistent. I am going to the shop to buy grocery. I just went to the store to get grocery. Oh, I will go to the store later to get grocery. What are we all saying? We are saying, I'm going to the store to get grocery. It doesn't matter how I say it. So that, I think English is one of the greatest problems we have in this justice for Mohbad. Everybody interprets things in a different way to suit them. We say, but Wunmi has been saying the same thing. This is what happened. It doesn't matter how she says it, because it's something that she's saying, is saying her truth. She did not write it. If she has gone to her interviews and go with a paper and be reading it, then it will be something that is planned. That is how you know somebody who is saying the truth. Because even we here, if something happened, they will say, okay, write what you know. You write what you know and you say it. It's only when you know, me passing pills now, I'm passing pills because I'm giving the right thing. It's only when I'm doing something wrong, I'll go and get a paper and say, okay, let me write this thing. Oh, I gave, like people that steals medication, I gave PRN pain medication to so person, so time. No, because I know I'm doing my job according to how I'm supposed to do it. It's only when I'm doing something different, then I'll start putting a note. Wunmi has said the truth. She keeps saying the same thing. It's just because it's the way of delivery. She's changing one or two things, but at the same time, she's still telling you people this is what happened. Going to the store to buy grocery. I will go to the store later to go buy grocery. On my way coming from work, I will go and buy grocery. All in all, we are still coming to the shop to buy grocery. Let me
sis me Ebony, you have given your submission, and you see they will never, in this case, Nigeria allows negligence. Ordinary we in the care home that are not even nurses yet. I'm in my second year nursing school, and I work in a even supported living. I don't even work in a care home. I work with learning disabilities, and ordinary, when you are doing medication, I can't do ordinary book out. I can't give PRN ordinarily here in abroad. But in Nigeria, it is seen as, you see somebody dying and the next thing they say, ya lagbaja kan lo se. That is why they always believe Wunmi did something. They will not believe you that this lady knew that the injection she wanted to give needs to have an antidote. Why was the antidote not beside But they will never believe your terminology. Already in the comment section, what did you say?
No, I'm listening to you. Continue, please. No.
So why, like, everybody now is saying you are speaking English, you are speaking, because they've never experienced it, and that's why you see that when they come abroad, people get into trouble. They say care is hard, nursing is hard. These things are, even if it is Wunmi that beat up this guy, okay, then she called the nurse. The nurse, because with this lady, I don't even think she's an RN. I think she was not supposed to be there.
No, she's an auxiliary nurse. Somebody who is still trained.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She was not supposed to be there.
She's not supposed to be there. She's not supposed to be there. If she was a licensed nurse, the first thing the board would have done, they would have taken her license. Because she worked out of her scope of practice. You're giving 3 powerful medication. You're giving a pain medication. You're giving an antibiotic.
A pain medication can go straight to the heart and stop a heart. A pain medication can stop the heart immediately.
You are giving, and you're giving an IV and antibiotic. So this medication, they all interact.
You are giving an IM, not IV. IM. She gave an IM that could paralyze someone. IMs are not even advisable anymore because it could paralyze people.
Can I ask a question, please?
But the Nigerian mentality of Oko Lolori Aya, Yawo Obudo Woju Oko will not let people see the road. They want to believe Wunmi fight the husband. It's fine.
Not the case here. Can I ask?
That's the case.
No, go ahead.
He's been singing. Okay, now they don't want to talk about Naira Marley.
But Naira Marley has been the number one culprit. Has been the number one. Has been the chief suspect.
Let him ask his question, because whether I can educate a little, because I know more about medical aspects of it. That's why sometimes for those of us who knows, we don't really say anything. We just listen to you guys.
You don't really know who I am too. You
no,
understand?
I know. Okay.
You don't really know who I am too. So educating me might not be.
No, I'm not talking about you in particular. No, I'm just saying generally that we just watch. I'm not saying you. I cannot relate because I don't know who is who. I'm just saying generally.
Okay, let me see. Madam, I listened to your submission clearly. Now, what is the chance that Mohbad was 24? I think so. 23 or 24, if I'm not wrong, before when that incident happened, and then he went to perform the day before. 2 questions I want to ask now. What are the chances that he could have died out of blood pressure? What are the chances of somebody who is very low?
I have an 18-year-old client who is hypertensive. 18-year-old. 18-year-old. You have so many underlying cases.
Disease process can happen in the body. It depends on how you live your life. That is why they encourage healthy living. In being depressed, depression comes with a lot of things. You may be thinking, and when you're thinking too much, you may develop high blood pressure. Yeah, it's one of those symptoms of it.
I know it could be. I'm saying that the chance of a 24-year-old person, and what is the percentage that a 24-year-old person would die out of blood
death
pressure?
does not have any age limit. A 16-year-old person, a 20-year-old person can die being diabetic, being hypertensive, may have seizure and die, may have any heart problem or anything and die. So death does not really have anything. It just depends on when it comes and how it's being managed. Medication management is very, very important. You know, from what they said Mohbad nurse wasn't around. If it was Mohbad nurse, despite the fact that he still also used an auxiliary nurse, but this is a nurse who has been working with him, who knows what he has been given to him, because she has been working with him, she has been taking care of him, so she will know what to do. This is a new nurse coming in who doesn't even know his medical history, because medical history is very, very important. Maybe they never told him that he's hypertensive. Maybe they never told him that he was depressed. And even Mohbad himself might not even know him being hypertensive because he never went to check. Nobody diagnosed him, because for you to be hypertensive, you need to be diagnosed. So he never went to be diagnosed to be hypertensive. So that nurse just came into a picture as somebody who was just unfortunate. She just said, okay, let me come and treat it. She must have been treating somebody with such cases too, who's the person nothing happened. You know, body process, death comes in. That is why any little mistake you make, you cannot say because this person is taking Tylenol and this person did not die. One person might take Tylenol for the first time and he might die from it. It depends on how the body reacts. That is the reason why when you are giving medication to somebody, you are checking to see if there is reaction. And that reaction, when the person reacts to that medication, that is when they will say, okay, you are allergic to this medication. Henceforth, you cannot take Tylenol. You cannot take this medication. So the nurse never asked this basic question. She never know the history of Mohbad to say, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. She just felt that, oh, I've been a nurse. I've been treating this case. Let me treat the case. It's just so unfortunate. It is more of medical negligence. Whether they argued in the house, spouses argued. But I don't know, I don't believe that anything, no matter the argument, whether they fought or they didn't fight, that Mohbad will be unconscious and the nurse coming in the next day met him conscious. Because when you're unconscious, you can't move, you can't talk, you can't do nothing. They even said he got up to go use the bathroom. So you can find out that he was conscious, but he was weak. And because of him being weak, that was why all those medication that they gave to him just paralyzed his body and it blocked his heart.
Okay, see what I heard your submission, but what I'm saying is what you are saying are chances that okay, there are chances that a 24-year-old person who is very very active and just came from show when the blood is even rushing, and you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that the chances that somebody would die, if I want to give it a chance, I would say the chance is still is not 50-50. Is lower than 50. That's one. Two is that the situation where he bled, there were a lot of blood lost, and there were just so many a lot of things surrounding.
No, let me tell you something about that blood.
There's where I'm going. I understand what you're saying. I understand it.
I want to explain that blood loss for you. No matter how we all look at it, there's no how somebody will bleed to that extent that the person will not be weak. And there's no how they want to cover him that if the bleed started from the night or whenever they started the fight, according to what you people are claiming, according to what people are claiming that they fought, he pushed him and he was bleeding. There's no, if Mohbad had that bleeding, that blood loss, it will not even stay till the next day, because without them doing anything, it will just bleed to death without doing nothing. Because if there was a lot of blood, there's no way the family will not move him to the hospital. And you know what? Once an adult, even we that take care of people, sometimes I take care of old people. I'm a geriatric nurse. I take care of old patients. As old as a patient is, if the patient tells you, I don't want to continue, I don't want to go to the hospital, or I don't want to take this medication, you cannot force the person, because once you're an adult, you have your independent will to make your own decision. And you know, sometimes the problem is that sometimes men are the hardest to care for. Men. Because these men, they believe that their dignity is taken off. I have a friend, a very good friend, that we were going out. This, my friend, you know, when his parents left, because the sister and the parents were in abroad, when the sister brought the parents to abroad, they live in Texas. This guy lived this kind of life because, you know, he was back home in Edo State. He was making money. The parents were sending him money. So they have house in Edo State. So this lifestyle, that is why I say lifestyle also matters. That is why we are encouraging people to live healthy living. He was smoking. He was drinking. He was womanizing and doing all sorts of things. And this is a boy that did this thing in maybe like 3 to 4 years. You know what he developed? He developed heart problem. What is it called? This thing that smoking. This what do they call this smoking something? Oh, you know, cancer that affected his esophagus and everything. This is somebody who smoked just for the last 4 years. And you will see somebody who has smoked for the last 20, 30 years. Nothing happens to them. It is the body. It is how the body processes it. Because the mother left, the father left to America. He feels he has the money. He was bringing people in. They were all smoking and everything. He started coughing. He did this. Then they found out that he has lung cancer. That's what I wanted to say. Through smoking.
Okay.
But this is
Thank you so
somebody
much.
that he hid this thing from his family. Assuming he has told his family earlier, he would have gotten that treatment earlier. He keep coughing and coughing, and one of the signs of lung cancer is you coughing unconditionally. Any little thing, you will have this chronic cough. To the extent that they even have to force him to say, go and do X-ray. When he did X-ray will not show everything. X-ray just show this and this, not knowing that cancer has become chronic. It hits him so fast in the last 4 years. And we have so many people who have smoked 20 years and they are still standing. Nothing is going on with them. Because of this, yes, and let me quickly explain something about how the body is. My body is different from your body. That is why people process things differently. It's called the disease process. You see somebody who is 80 years is healthy, and you see somebody who is 40 years and the person is very sick, going from one hospital to the other, being maybe from one complication of disease and the rest of the thing. So we cannot say because Mohbad is 24 years does not mean he cannot have those symptoms and those things cannot kill him. It can kill him. Even somebody who is 20 years being diabetic, who has type 1 diabetic, if it's not processing the insulin, not taking the right medication, may have complication and go into diabetic coma and the person dies. So death does not have any age range. Death is not only for the old or for the young or for the middle. It comes to anyhow the person lives his or her life. That is why it's called healthy living. Live a good life so you don't have those diseases that will continue to that will progress and lead somebody to death. Some people may have maybe hypertensive. It depends on how the body processes it. They may be taking the same medication, doing the same thing. One person may live healthier and the other person may have other complications of being hypertensive, and it may also lead to diabetes, lead to depression and this. And the other person is just being like that. So our body are all different.
Definitely, we understand. I understand that.
Okay.
I mean, let me say, I personally, what I'm saying is, if someone died of or somebody died of blood pressure or hypertension or stuff, will the autopsy be able to review that or not? Would you educate me on that? Are you there? Can you hear me?
I don't know about whether autopsy. I don't really know much about what autopsy can review or not. But the only thing is that they can go with the person diagnosis and the complications. And I think that was what the hospital and the police did. Because for the police to come out to say it is what they did, they've worked with a medical professional. Even we have we have police who are still some medical professionals who still work in the police department. So they've interviewed the nurse. It's from the interview the nurse said and everything that they've listened and said, okay, that was how they came to his conclusion. And they said, okay, he's been depressed, he's been this. And from the medication the lady gave, because what I'm even looking at, maybe that tetanus shot the nurse gave to him. Maybe it's an expired one.
Sorry, let me say one thing, please. Do you know they hide
Sure,
that?
but there's every possibility of that tetanus being expired.
Do you know they carried out an autopsy on him?
I know they did, but they couldn't come to a conclusion. According to from what we read in the city, whatever they did, they couldn't come to a conclusion. Why? Because according to it, they said they saw some fraction of drugs in his system, which we all know that Mohbad being somebody who is a musician, is into smoking and everything, drugs or whatever. But why they could not really come to a conclusion was because the thing that they would have used, they said they buried him so fast and everything, so they couldn't get the right something to use. So you know what? The problem is that J4M was not really for J4M was for reform, and I don't know why they turned J4M, because there is no how Even if the wife does it, let them leave it for God, because people coming to say the wife did this, the wife did, no, it's not possible. They've done their, me, I believe they've done their investigation. And somebody being a nurse who has practiced so many years over here, I know what medical negligence is, and I know that it can really cause it. So the nurse is the one who did it. Even for those who are nurses, let me tell you, a nurse who went to school, who graduated, you go now, you find out, you go to check a resident, a patient, you find out that the person's blood sugar is 64. Because the doctor gave an order that you should give insulin. You're supposed to use your brain as a nurse to say, 64 is low, let me hold this insulin. I'm not going to give, because insulin is supposed to try to bring the blood sugar down. And you give this person insulin without giving the person food, the blood sugar will continue to come down. Let me tell you an instance. There was a nurse who was supposed to give a patient morphine. He was supposed to give 0.5 ml. That is a very little thing. But because the nurse made a mistake, instead of giving 0.5, she wanted to give 5 ml.
Wow.
This patient was kind of dying. If not for the physical therapy who wanted to go work with the patient, he found that this patient was kind of not moving and everything. Before you could know it, the only good thing that saved that patient was that there was an antidote ready. Immediately, the doctor said, give an antidote. They gave him NACA immediately, and this patient came back to life. If not that, the physical therapy said, oh, I need to go and work with this man. In that found that the man wasn't talking, and the man was just kind of more, his breathing was low. When you check the man's breathing, his respiration, normal respiration starts from 12, even 12 is low, but if you're dying, 12 is acceptable. From 16, this man was going 8, 10. But you know, they have all antidotes in the hospital. Immediately they gave this man antidote. That was why I'm like, the man, also the nurse make that mistake. This is a nurse, or a trained nurse. You want to tell me that this is somebody who went to nursing school, passed board, who has been working? You don't know what she was thinking, whether she was depressed, whether she was taking something in her house. Instead of giving, you see the difference, 0.5. She went to give 5 ml.
I get you. And you see, what I just wanted to know is this. I understand the whole what you are saying, and I just hope you look, I understand, but this medical errors and that medical practitioners, they perform, and I wanted to know that it's not even only in Nigeria. You understand? Medication administration could be wrongly done, but there are processes for, how do I call it, that you have to go through when you administer medication wrongly, when you probably give treatment wrongly. Now, that aside, we are saying that they are just, okay, was the administration, the nurse as well the one that brought about the bleeding of that guy? That guy bled, definitely.
The problem is that when people keep saying the guy bled, but the nurse never said there was. He said there was a cut. It was different from bleeding. No,
everybody confirmed it.
No, nobody confirmed it. It was only the few people who believed. Even Baba said he saw it. There was nobody. If the nurse, if there was bleeding, that is why I said, you people, instead of you, they would have held Baba too. Because if you come to a scene, you see such bleeding. That is why I'm saying that if there was such bleeding,
did you know the mother confirmed it too? Do you know the mother confirmed it? Almost everyone.
The mother said, it was when they removed the IV that there was, okay, maybe from the cut it bleed, because definitely when you remove IV, the patient will bleed. Or maybe there is a cut. There is a difference between blood and cut, bleeding. Because the way people are saying bled, if you are bleeding profusely or whatever they call it, you cannot last.
Do you know?
They will be bleeding and they will keep the patient in the house. No, they will definitely, they are going to yank the person to the hospital. You
Okay,
cannot
if
be
you,
bleeding and sit in the house. You're going to
okay,
bleed to death.
I'll tell you where the bleeding comes in. Now, I will say if you have been following VDM's
No,
narration and people that
I
came as
don't
witness.
follow VDM. I listen. I
Okay.
listen to the
No,
city
no, no,
when they're
no. We are
reading,
saying
and
that.
I pick what I pick.
Do you know that when he was saying there were a lot of people who actually came to witness and then
No,
said there are people who came to witness to testify what they knew about it, and like
but
the
the people who
sister,
said
the auntie.
the driver, wait, the driver who was there said he was listening. The auntie who came, she didn't even come at the scene of the event. She wasn't there. She came some days later. The auntie gave her own different narration. If the people who were there, Adura who was there, spent it, because there's no way Wunmi will cry her husband that Adura will see his brother being the breadwinner of his family, somebody doing things for him, and he will support it. Nobody does that. Please, there's no way. Even Mama Adura, if Mama Adura, Mama Mohbad knows that this is a person who, she's not going to support him. These are the friends who came. They came. Spending was there. He was the one who called the nurse. You know why spending is also going down? They want to know if there was a collaboration between him and the nurse. Whether it was like, okay, nurse, if Sandy can defend himself and he found out that his hands are clean, I know if his hands are clean, he's going to go. They're going to let him go. But they just want him to come and say, okay, oh, this is a nurse. I did it from my own free will. I never knew there was nothing hidden behind it. There was no mission behind it. Why they are putting spending is they wanted to know if there was a mission behind him calling, because he was the one who called the nurse. And he said, oh, I have a friend who is a nurse. They wanted to know to say, oh, this guy, oh, come and do this and do this and do A and Z to A. That is the reason why spending is there. But I believe if his hands are clean and if he could defend himself to get a good lawyer, he will be acquitted. He's not going to be found guilty. But all in all, because people keep saying blood, blood, blood. I don't know what people know what is called blood, because where is the blood gushing from? There is no blood. No matter how you have a cut in your hand, blood cannot gush out from the hand just like that. No, if blood is coming out, it will stop. The only way you can have such pool of blood is whether maybe it's coming from the vagina or from the uterus, or maybe somebody ate poison and is pooping out poison, or maybe the person bumped his own head. Even when you bump your head, blood is not going to gush out like that. So I don't know what people think it's called pool of blood. If somebody falls today and the person has, maybe he has head crack or everything, there will be blood. There can never be that kind of pool of blood. Because when there's a pool of blood, you are gone. You need to go and get urgent care. And most blood sometimes are inside the internal organs that people do not see. So for them to say externally they have that kind of blood, I'm kind of wondering. If you only see those kind of pool of blood when you slaughter somebody, like if you slaughter a cow or a hen, you will see blood gushing out. That is slaughtering. But this person wasn't slaughtered. He only has a cut on his hand. Maybe the cut, according to what they said, it was from the fight he has with his friend, that he has glass, he has a break or glass poke in. From that poke, that was why when they did the autopsy, the results came back. They said there was nothing like a mark or a pool of blood. The only mark they saw on his body was the cut which he has. Definitely, when you have a cut, even when somebody dies, that cut is still there. That was the only thing. Autopsy will not come and say if there was pool of blood. CT camera would have said, oh, there was trauma to the brain. There was trauma to the end. There was no trauma to his body. There's nothing like his body wasn't traumatized. So that is when you will say that if they fought and maybe Wunmi, she pushed him down, it would have shown in the autopsy that there was a trauma somewhere, because there's no how it will be there in the body. These are experts who has done a diligent job. The blood was rendered from the cut which he has, that he keep bleeding, because that was why they wanted to give a tetanus shot so that it will not be infected, because tetanus too can kill. That is why when you come to abroad, they give you tetanus shot. It lasts for 10 years. Because of when you have a cut and you don't take care of it, it goes straight to the heart and it blocks the heart. That is how tetanus kills. So the nurse, as a matter of fact, I'm saying she wasn't a qualified nurse. As if she was a qualified nurse, she would have asked him, have you had any cut? Have you taken your tetanus before? These are some of the questions which they would have asked, but she did not ask. She just felt, oh, there's a cut, I have to give tetanus. No, good Samaritan law does not save you as a nurse. That is why, as a nurse, before you do something, you go through the book, you go through the process, you go to make sure you are working where you're supposed to work. I'm not going to say me being a nurse now, I don't know how to fix an IV. And I say somebody who needs an IV, I'll say, okay, let me do it. No, because if I fix an IV, I wasn't trained to fix an IV, and something happened to the patient, I will be held responsible, apart being a nurse, because I wasn't trained, I'm not an IV nurse. So that is what the nurse did. There was no trauma to his body. If there was a nurse, there was fighting or anything, the CT scan, the autopsy would have shown that, oh, we found that he has a broken ribs. We found out that his head got struck. We found a mark on his skull. These are the evidence. But they just said the only cut they found on his body was the one he has on his arm, which is synonymous to what we have been saying. So if Nigerians can accept this, that it is medical negligence, then there will be a way forward. But people are not accepting it.
Oh, madam, I totally agree with you.
Okay.
You understand? But what I'm saying is, I want to ask you and tell me now, are you exonerating the woman now? Are you saying from all angles or from your own?
I'm not going to, I cannot exonerate and I cannot crucify her. I'm only going to wait. No, I cannot, because I am not in that field. But as a nurse, I know that it is medical negligence. Because when we should wait for the court, we should wait for the court to give negligence.
We agree that there's medical negligence.
Yeah, so if there's medical negligence, why do we have to hold the nurse? Nothing happens to the nurse. Nothing happens to the wife. Just like what the court, the judge said. The judge gave her own fault and said no, because this is a lesson for everybody. And I think this is supposed to have been a wake-up call. Nigerians only just scream at the early stage and they go back to it, because most, let's say half of Nigeria, 50% of people in Nigeria use quack nurses or whatever. But the judge also faulted her, gave her own fault and said, you don't do that next time. Your husband is a celebrity, no matter what, because she holds it as a duty of care. Because when they find out that, when the nurse came in and everything, I hear people saying she didn't really stay there, nobody knew that was going to lead to death, because they felt it was a young guy. If it was an old person, somebody who has been showing these symptoms of being sick, then the family will gather around him. So you know that a nurse has come in. Even you keep going in and out, which is a normal thing for anybody to do. She's not going to sit there to say, oh, my husband wants to die, because it wasn't showing any symptoms of him being dead, going to die. They never knew that it was going to happen that way. It was just an unfortunate incident. It's very, very unfortunate. There should have been a reform to say, okay, no, so you don't do this, people don't do this. That was what justice was supposed to be. Justice was supposed to be for reform, but they turned justice to be something different. I'm not going to find the wife guilty, because the judge has already faulted her where she was faulty and said no. And which is also a lesson for every one of us, everybody. If you're bringing a quack nurse or a trained nurse or whatever nurse to the house, whether being an experienced, a quack or auxiliary or whatever, your own duty of care is for you to be there, ask questions. What are you giving this person? You know, when I was in Nigeria, it's only God that did not kill all of us. I know when I was sick, they want to give me injection. The nurse, they only have one injection. After injecting me, they will put it back to use it on the next injection they want to give, because it's the same person. They can use, if they want to give you 5, you want to take 5 shots, they will use one injection to give you 5 shots. These are in the hospital. It's only God who did not kill us that time. But yeah, they will tell you you cannot recap any injection. You cannot reuse it. We have a container. Once you inject a patient, put it in that container. You cannot recap to say, I want to reuse, I want to reuse, I want to reuse. So these are so many negligence that it was because I became a nurse. I found out so many faults. So many things went wrong in Nigeria because I knew I was sick for so many times. But it's only God who saved every one of us. So these are the reforms that people need to know. If you bring in anybody, even if you go to the hospital too, if a nurse is taking care of your loved one, stay down there and know what is going on. What are you giving? Ask questions. That is where they gave her her own fault. So she didn't really do anything. It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate that it has to go. But the family also needs to accept it that it's an unfortunate incident.
No, see, nobody is going to accept, unfortunately, and that's one thing about, if you are talking about abroad too, nobody is going to accept any unfortunate incident.
Why would they accept it?
Okay, look, let me say it. Even abroad that you're talking about, nobody will say it's an unfortunate incident. They want to know exactly what go wrong.
No, they've asked questions. That is why they did.
Okay, madam.
That is why there was corona. That was why there was interview. They did all the investigation they want to do.
Hold on. Are you saying that the autopsy, they said, the reason the judge was not giving a clear and concise judgment? Hold on.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
The judge gave evidence based on fact, not on emotion. Not on hearsay, not on narration that was given on the social media.
Let me learn.
His evidence based on everything they brought forward from their talking, from all their confession. No. People should respect the judiciary. Respect your judiciary, please.
Nobody's not saying. We are not saying that the judiciary was not doing what is right though. She was giving some facts. And she made the judgment on that fact. But what fact did she work with? Was there a clear autopsy? People do autopsy even after somebody don't mind.
But they gave the reason why the autopsy wasn't clear. The pathologists read it. They gave the reason. They said because Baba went to bury the body, they cemented. Technically, when they buried somebody, you pour sand. You allow the sand and everything to absorb. You don't cement immediately. That was the mistake Papa did. The Papa Mohbad, for him to have buried that guy, you people see it. When you bury somebody, you don't go even here. When they bury somebody, they pour sand, salt, and from sand to sand, they leave it. They go. Maybe after 1 week or 3 days or 2 weeks, they will come and do because they will allow it to take its own process. For the bottle, so because he buried it, he used, when you are doing soccer away, they use cement, they use everything. That was the reason why. That was why they couldn't get a concrete result from the autopsy. But the autopsy also tried to say, okay, this is what we find in the system. There was drug in the system, and this is what we observed. There was no trauma to the body. There was no bruising. There was no any bleeding. The only thing we found out, before then they said there was haircut. They said no, his body was intact. No severe trauma, because if there is trauma, autopsy would have revealed it if there was any broken bones. But there was no broken bones. So, but he couldn't come to a conclusion. But he still gave his own result to say this and this. They wanted to know whether it was poison, and poison was also ruled out of it. The food he ate wasn't poison. It's not something that was poison. So that one was also ruled out. So the judge worked with everybody. They did that corona for weeks. They worked with all evidence they had. They interviewed people. People came to say what they want to say. That is why you see that where people want to go. The problem I found with Nigeria, even my friends, the last time they did the election, people keep saying, oh, this and this. If you ask a average Nigerian, somebody on the street now, say, what is Tinubu policy? They don't even know. People don't sit to read. People don't sit to listen to news, to know what, because from the news is when you get your facts. But from TikTok and social media, you never get facts, because even me saying things, sometimes I may want to say it because I may not be saying a lot of things with facts. But if a news person or a journalist or whatever, the media is saying something, they've done their due diligence. They've done their assignment. They are coming out with facts.
What is your
So
submission? What is your own take on when you say due diligence? Now, please, 1 minute. Let me. There's a place I'm going. When you say due diligence, it does something to me. Now, as far as medical and say autopsy is found, are we saying they can, with someone's body, is it the fluid from the soil that they need to use to do autopsy, or they can, with the body, they can actually get an autopsy? Say even if the person had died 5 years ago, they can actually get with the body, they can actually know exactly what by the person. Do you want to answer me about that? You're muted if you're actually talking.
yeah, that is why we have those experts. The
Okay.
experts, they've done their job. I am not an expert in this. It's not my field. That is why in everything you leave it for the experts. They've done their job. They've done their findings. They took them time. You know that autopsy was not something that was done. They did a thorough job. In as much as we don't like what they did a thorough job. And they came out and they said, this is what we came about with. And this is our conclusion. We couldn't get a conclusive whatever, but this was our findings. And that was what the judge worked with. So if somebody who is not an expert in that field comes and tell you, oh, autopsy wasn't done, which fact does the person work? Has the person done autopsy before? Does the person have the experience? No. So people cannot come and be saying things based on emotion or based on I notice. No, when you are coming out, come out with facts and figures. That is why they have so many different departments. People are working. Forensic is different. Autopsy people is different. The labs are different. The medical personnel are different. Therapists are different. There are so many different departments because they've gone to school. They know how what they are doing. So I don't believe, for me, my whole conclusion from the fact I live here and I followed it from the CTC is the city is on the website. People should take time to read it. These are people talking under oath. If Wunmi is going to be charged, they're going to bring everything she has said to come out for her to defend it. That is why when you are talking, you need to talk with facts. You need to be sure of what you are saying. You don't talk because I want to talk. They are all giving their facts. They all said their truth. In case they call them, they can defend what they said. So please.
Would you say that you said you are in US?
Yeah, I'm in US.
Would anybody accept such result in
Yes.
US?
Why not? Yes, we believe our experts.
I'm saying that is what they did for that boy's body. Would anybody have accepted it?
When the facts are there, the evidence are there. Even let me tell you, even here in US, sometimes when somebody dies and the family felt so bad, they are not satisfied, they take the person to board of nursing. Your own is to come out and defend, get your lawyer. Yeah, you get your lawyer. That is why they entertain all complaints. You get your lawyer and you come there and defend yourself. That is why we have.
Concerning the autopsy.
Huh? No, not regarding. I cannot. Let me tell you, my brother. I cannot say anything to the autopsy because I'm not an expert in it. I don't know anything about autopsy. I'm only telling you from what I've read, and I believe it because they are
From
experts.
your own angle now, because your field is medical,
Yeah,
and then you feel like there's a medical gap, medical admission,
yeah,
medical negligence, then you feel like because of the medical negligence, then there's this is the 90% chance that he died from this medical negligence.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. I get your point now. But the truth is, we are not we are agreed. We are giving the 90% to the medical negligence. But we are saying that even the 10% is a chance. And we are saying that the 10% chance
No, you know what?
could
If we
also be
remove,
okay. The
let's
10% chance.
remove. Let me tell you. You know
We are
the
saying that
problem with
one
Nigeria.
minute,
Wait,
please. 1 minute,
let
please.
me
One
tell you
minute,
the
please. We
problem.
are saying that
Nigeria.
hold on 1 minute, please. We are saying that there are lots of there are just more than just one coincidence. There are lots of coincidences that come up that looks like this is more than. Let's look beyond medical negligence. Let's look
If
at
they want to look beyond medical
you understand
negligence,
what I'm
that
saying?
was why the first time when they say they should go do it, they should go and do it traditionally, that the Baba refused. Because the Baba he doesn't believe in that. You know, one thing if Nigerians, let me tell you, one thing if we Nigerians can take from our mind,
Let me tell you something.
say, something can happen to anybody.
1 minute, please.
Death
See,
is not a respecter of age.
of
Death
course.
comes into people
But
anytime.
death
We
will not be
just pray.
just
No,
death will not just somebody will not
no,
just go and say, I want to buy
no.
because I
It
want to
comes.
buy.
Apart
No,
from
see,
him being dead, so
what I'm
many.
saying
Okay,
is,
look at this guy that died, Junior Pope or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't really know that died. That they said he was in the a swan. He got into the river, is in the boat or whatever they use, canoe capsized and he couldn't breathe. You know, when that guy came out, if it was like, assuming there was CPR, that guy CPR would have saved his life. Assuming Nigeria knows how to do CPR, because definitely he wasn't really dead, he wasn't really gone. Maybe he was unconscious. That is why you found out that when you're unconscious, CPR can bring you back if it's being done in the right way and done immediately. But instead of Nigerians to say, okay, oh, this person came out because he was in a river, he drowned, he was still breathing. If they've done CPR or they've done, he would have vomited that water and gaps and stick back to life and send him to the hospital. But the mistake most people were there did, one, they didn't know how to do CPR, and nobody could save him. Rather, people were taking pictures of him and everything. So he's a young person who also met his waterlogged, untimely death. Death can come to anybody, irrespective of the age. 5 years old child can also die, being sick and not being treated very well, and this person also died. So Mohbad dying is not an exceptional. No, it is not an exceptional. Kids, we just pray that we all live long. It's because of the kind of life he has lived. This is the same drug that some people took and they are healthy. They are still working well. That is why they say don't do things because others are doing it, because you don't know how your body is. There are some people who has like kidney disease at an early stage, and there are some who has kidney disease at the late stage. As diabetics, but people who are diabetic, people say people don't die of diabetes. People still die of diabetes. We have young people here who still die, maybe because they are not being managed properly, they don't follow their medication and this. And if he has been hypertensive, he has not been taking his medication, because when one is hypertensive, these are medication you take for the rest of your life to always bring your blood pressure down. But maybe they just gave him once, he didn't continue, and his blood pressure was high. Because if I tell you, the nurse who gave him that injection and who gave him all those things never checked his blood pressure, which was one, I'm 100% sure his blood pressure wasn't checked, his vitals wasn't checked, because mostly that blood pressure, she never knew. Because if she has checked the blood pressure, that would have given her a red flag to say, no, your blood pressure is high. Because over here, if you want to go and remove ordinary your teeth, and you go to the clinic to remove your teeth, and they find out that your blood pressure is so high, they give you two options. They will tell you, we cannot do it because your blood pressure is high. If you insist, they'll say, okay, sign an undertaking to say you are the one accepting to do it irrespective of your blood pressure. Because once blood pressure is high, anything can happen. So if that nurse has taken his blood pressure and she has seen that this person blood pressure is high, being hypertensive, all those medications she gave, she wouldn't have given it to him. That was where the fault comes from. I think we have a guest. Let's hear from our guest. It seems they've left the platform for me and my brother to be talking.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
I've been hearing from you since morning, ma. You are the one that will be speaking since. You are the one that spoke with one woman that said she was going to work. I don't know, one lady like that, she left. When you were narrating how Mama Mohbad left the house and every other thing.
No, it's not. Not me.
Not you.
I think the lady left. She was the one who said something about Mama. I didn't really know much about Mama Mohbad. No.
Okay. Wait, let me say another thing. Since you said is nurse negligent, there is two points I want to bring out there. Okay, the first time they accused Prime Boy, they accused Naira Marley, Mohbad accused Baba Mohbad. So you understand from there, if it's negligent, the nurse that really killed Mohbad, as you said, why was Karimo trying to whisk her sister away? Why was Iyabo Ojo trying to whisk Wunmi out of the country? Nurse killed Mohbad. It's not Naira Marley, it's not Prime Boy. Why were they trying to whisk her away? Please, I want you to talk about.
Do you have evidence of those? Because let me tell you, I told you, I said I don't look at those things. No,
listen, Karimo. Okay, you don't listen. Guys, this one is not allegedly. It's all over everywhere. Karimo said it. She has said it more than 1 billion times that she took her sister to embassy. You understand? Because she has American passport. She's what's the other? She's either soldier or something like that. So, and they did not accept her sister. So, in the WhatsApp group that VDM is playing, there's a place he said they did a private DNA. That one is apart, and they were trying to whisk Wunmi out of the country. Now the nurse by person husband, why are they whisking her away to another country?
Okay,
please,
I can answer that one.
Excuse me, No, hold on 1 minute. Because you said she have said her truth. She have been coming out to come and say her truth on television. You understand? So I want you to talk about that, please. Thank you very much, ma'am. Happy Sunday.
Thank you. Whisking somebody, trying to help a sister, maybe they just felt, after everything, because of the way, that lady and her son has not really lived a normal life. The son has not lived like his age because that child has always been in fear and the mother has always been in fear. Maybe they just feel that after everything, sending somebody to abroad is not something. Karimo has no power to take Wunmi abroad. Let me tell you the fact, and that is free.
No, ma, calm down.
I'm telling you that she has no power.
Okay, secondly, sorry for interjecting.
Let me answer.
No, you said that is it Wunmi you are talking about that believing in fear with her son. That they are not believing in normal life.
Let me explain.
Okay, since when, ma? Since when? Before Mohbad died or after Mohbad died, they have not been living
after the death of her husband, because of the bullying and everything. The son.
Okay, that's why they want to whisk them away to America.
Can you allow me talk? You asked me.
Okay, sorry, ma.
Please allow me to talk. Calm down. That's what I'm telling you. That Karimo or whosoever, they don't have power to waste anybody. They can only apply for her to go and feel to say, okay, maybe if everything settled, forgetting that even Wunmi going to Tanzania, and 100% sure, I'm not too sure, but I'm looking at it like most likely they've done their due process. They've gone through the court. Maybe the police have cleared her to say, okay, she's not a suspect. she might be a weakness. Okay, let her go and come back. I don't really know. I'm just saying because
Did you
she
see the
must have
news
gotten
anywhere?
she must have gotten that permission from the authority because they were all working with the authority. So Karima has no right to say she might apply for her sister to say, okay, oh, before that, because we could even hear from social media that
It's not only Karimo now, Ijabo Ojo too.
yes, I'm not. Yaba doesn't have power to take her out. They can only say, okay, well, maybe if everything works out and you are not involved, because
No,
from
this one is not if everything works out. That is her husband case is still on the ground. And she wants to fly out of the country. That's what I'm saying now.
no. I don't think so. Now,
You don't think so?
they may be thinking that maybe if
This
everything
one is not
finishes.
thinking, man.
No, my sister. Let's see. Let's
Why are
not
you
put
funneling the question?
let's not put emotion to this.
It's not emotion.
Yes.
It's a
No,
good
hold
idea
on,
if
madam.
they
See
tell her
you.
to try to go out of the country because as it is now, nothing you're gonna say. Nobody can carry woman out until she's cleared.
But me,
She's
I'm
not
telling you,
she's not
these two people tried it with evidence. That's what I want you to talk about with evidence.
Well,
One is in the chat in the WhatsApp group.
I did
One
not see
Karimo
it.
confessed to it.
I did not see it, but the only thing I know they might say, okay, oh, as you know when they have this princess daughter, princess foster daughter that had this issue with Mr. Baba, what is this man? This man that went to jail.
Baba Jesha.
Baba Jesha. You know they protected they protected that in the interest of that lady, the girl. Till tomorrow, nobody knows who that girl is. But because this little child face is everywhere, so they are just saying, okay, maybe if things work out. Because for me, what I'm saying in this case,
this is not if things work out. They are planning. Karimo said she took her sister. She did not say, let me go and seek 10 years visa for you. In case of, if the case finish, let's go. She want to take her sister away. Her husband is lying in the morgue or they just buried Mohbad at that first time. This second one that VDM is reading out is 2023-2024 chart. You understand? It's not 2025 chart. So it's not for future sake. They want to whisk her away so that she will not, how will I say, she will not be part of the Kiri matter or something like that.
You see, that is how I'm telling you that.
Why would you use the word kiri? Like, is there any evidence that say she by her husband?
Yeah, there is no evidence.
There's no evidence she by her husband, but why is she running away? That's what I'm saying.
She is not running away.
She cannot run.
She is not running away.
Now, she cannot run.
Mona, they told truth. Are you people, you have children, you are a mother.
Not see, forget that is the emotion.
What do you mean by that?
I'm asking because somebody husband by.
Calm down.
She's the one that's supposed to be there to be monitoring those suspects that my husband must get justice. No, you must go down for it.
Power.
Okay, why is she not running away to America or to another country?
That is the reason why there is a law court. The people are involved. People should calm down. You can't put emotions if there are no facts.
Okay, it is called running away. Okay.
No. Where will she run to? She cannot run. She cannot go anywhere until she's cleared.
That is what you heard Karimo very simple now.
But you heard
Karimo say.
Okay. Did you see here Ijabo Ojo's own? Karimo say we can say Karimo he talk too much. You understand? But okay, what about Ijabo Ojo's own?
He cannot whisk her out of the country. You should forget that.
You should forget this emotion of the thing. Can she leave the country?
You guys should clap for yourself.
Can she leave the country while the case is still on? Let's be realistic here.
Something they are processing. Now what for you guys? So
where did you see where they are processing?
Let's say the truth.
No, who will give her the
She's not the
visa?
buyer of her husband, though. You understand?
No,
But
no,
she
wait.
wants to monitor who buy
Wait,
her
who
husband.
will, the problem
I
is
want to
that
escort that person
who
to
is going to
Kirikiri.
give her
But
visa?
why is she trying? Why are they trying to whisk her away? That's
They
the question I
cannot whisk
ask.
No,
her
there's
away.
nothing of
Forget it.
I
such.
know
If
whisk
they're
her, but
saying
they are
They
she's
trying.
cannot.
traveling, that
The
doesn't
Iyabo
mean.
was working on it.
Ebony, please allow, please hold on a bit. Please, CEO, let me talk. See, let's be realistic with each other. This case is in courts. A sensible person and somebody like Yabojo, I'm not trying to whitewash her here, we would not even be involved in Wumi running away. Running away for what? Has there any investigation that pointed at her that she might be involved in what by her husband, anything so far? After the coroner inquest of anything. And as excuse me, please, you talk. And aside from that, a sensible person knows that in all of this, a case cannot be going on and she just carry her bag like she's running away. If there is a case of, there's a topic of their doing visa for her, processing a visa or
Excuse me,
something,
ma.
is allow me to land, please don't
Okay,
interject
okay.
me. Don't interject me, please. You talk. If there's a statement that said that they are processing a visa for her or something, fine, probably maybe after the case she will travel. If they want to take her away, she went to Tanzania. Why didn't they smuggle her from that place, or probably lie that, oh, they didn't see her or she dismissed or something? Case is ongoing, like her husband died and they are still trying to look for justice. The next thing is to buckle her shoe, carry her nylon bag and run away. Run to where? If she runs to any country, they will declare her wanted and that country will deport her. So what are we saying? When normally when they needed them in Nigeria, didn't they
Thank you.
come to here? Were they not declared wanted?
Yeah.
When they didn't see this guy, Prime Boy, was there not some same thing done? And Prime Boy came and said like, I did not run away. Why are they declaring me wanted? So it's a very clear thing saying she wants to run away. No, and nobody, Yabo will not want to put her hand in such like, oh yeah, come and run away. Now Yabo Bonham, that she will not use her head to carry the whole thing.
Okay, no be
So
Iyabo
go
born am.
ahead and say
Iyabo
what you
fit
want to
carry
say.
Mama Mohbad go do DNA. Okay, ma.
Iyabo never told the Mohbad to go and do DNA. You people should be getting something
I
right.
said
She
he
said,
carry
no,
Iyabo, not
you
told. He
listen.
carry Mohbad.
She said
Okay,
they've
listen, ma.
done the DNA. She said
Listen, ma. Let
the
me reply.
mother and the
Let me
son has
What
reply.
is
done
it?
DNA. She never said, I went to do the
So what
DNA
should I
or
do
I
with it?
told them.
When you are holding
Okay. Since you people said the jackpot that she wanted to jackpot is future jackpot, maybe 100 years time jackpot. What happened in 2023? According to her biological sister, I know they are half, that is mother side, but
No, 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 no,
Marimo
no. I'm
believe.
not talking.
No, let me talk. You
I'm
say I should not
talking
interject you
underground.
just now.
He has
Ma, you say I should not
not
interject
you.
you.
I'm talking to somebody that is talking here. I'm not interjecting you.
Okay, ma.
Mulo or something 2021. No, not this platform. Is one of my mate here. Thank you.
CEO, go ahead.
Okay, since you people you now change it that that jackpot because Karimo came out, the video is out there. How she took her sister to because I even asked her a question. Why did you try to whisk your sister away? The day she was on a Tenny on Mologos platform that she said she want to say her real truth. I even asked her a question. You understand? So she said she took her sister to embassy to whisk her away. You understand? Why did you try to whisk your sister away? Who husband have just by? Who knows? That time it was not knows that by him. It was the Naira Sam Larry, Prime Boy, and Mama Mohbad said it's Papa Mohbad that sent
Can I
people to
quickly
him, right?
correct you over there? Can I quickly correct you? Karimo
Let's,
has no power to take her sister to the embassy
Mandas, you
without
forget
an
about
import.
Karimo has no
No,
power, but she
wait,
did it or
no,
not.
you
She did
listen,
it now.
please. Let's not talk
Let
based
her say
on
her
not.
own. Don't say that.
Let me tell
Karimo
you
has
something.
power. She's
No,
a
she
military
doesn't.
person. Military personnel.
Karimo,
She has power. She
before you
a
can go,
passport holder.
wait, before you
No,
can
man,
go to
no,
the
no, no, no,
embassy,
no.
can
I
I just
disagree with you.
quickly land?
She has power.
Before you can, hold on.
maybe you just came to America. Karimo has been in America for 10 years. You understand?
Before you can
No,
go
ma,
to the
I disagree with you. Karimo has power. There's
I've
a lot
been
of people
here
Karimo
for
wanted to pack
20
to
years.
America.
I just
You
did not
understand?
come to America. I've been
No.
here for 20 years. So you know what you're saying.
Okay, but
Let me
Karimo,
explain
as
to
a
you.
military person, she has power. She's a
She
military
has
person.
no power to
She
take
has
anybody.
power. She has power. If a Cubana chief passed through her, it would have been America. Karimo has power.
Can I just talk?
No,
Before you
I'm
can
talking.
go
I'm the
for
one talking, man.
before
I'm
you
the one
can go
talking. You
for
are
an
interjecting
interview
me.
at the before you can
I'm
go
the
to the
one talking. You are
embassy,
interjecting me.
you have to
So
have
Karimo said she took her sister to embassy and she dropped her passport.
Okay, my brother, let me quickly say something regarding that embassy, whatever something. Before you can go to the embassy, you cannot just go to an embassy without a formal invitation. So if somebody just buy, maybe it's something that is
Ma,
kind of
please, Missy
ongoing for
Family,
her.
don't mute me, please. Let me talk. I was talking before her. You understand? You are muting
I
me. I'm
didn't mute you.
talking.
I didn't mute you.
Somebody mute me.
Not me.
I
I
was
don't have
talking
that
before
right.
you. I
Okay,
was
go
talking
ahead.
before you. You
Go ahead.
understand? Okay. So, since because the sister came out to say she took, because they were having misunderstanding, she came out to say all the things, how she made her to know Falana and all those kind of things. It was Falana friend, sister, daughter that contacted her. You understand? So for me, thinking maybe it's somebody that is Naira Marley or Sam Larry that really climbed Mohbad. That's why they gave her that Falana, say take, so that you can use it to fight your case. So she narrated that one. Later, she now said, I took you to embassy to take you away. You understand? Because they believe it is Sam Larry and Naira Marley that bad Mohbad. In the group chat that is going on now, there is a place where VDM, I will urge VDM to post that place. You understand? Because there is nothing VDM will drop that he don't drop evidence. Let him post that place because he talk about it. You understand that? There is a place Yabo Ojo was trying to carry Wumi out of the country. VDM, if you are listening or let anybody tag VDM, you need to drop that page, that right up where they were planning it that she should leave the country. You understand? So if she don't have hand in the husband's back, it is nurse. Okay, exactly. Are you talking to me exactly or what? I heard somebody say exactly. If she did not have hand in the buying of Mohbad, I don't think they will be planning to whisk her out of the country. Now they're saying that it's nurse that buy the boy. Okay,
Okay,
another one again.
can I quickly
Hold on
answer
now,
you?
Madam
Please,
Nurse.
let me quickly,
Hold
I'm
on,
not a
Madam Nurse.
madam.
I will
Let me
finish now.
explain to you.
No,
Hold on.
hold on, ma. You can't explain to me.
I
Hold on.
cannot allow you to go with that narration. What you are
Madam, no,
selling
you
is
can't
not
tell me
right.
that one. No,
No,
VDM, please drop it.
you are selling a false
VDM,
narration
please,
to
if you
people.
are listening, any writer in the building, please tell our president to drop that page, that
Okay.
place where this thing. You understand? Let him drop it. That VDM, drop it, I beg.
No, maybe
can we
it is
have a
high time you
conversation?
go to your
Yeah.
to. We
Can we
can't
have a
even have
conversation,
conversation
please?
because today's topic
Why
is
we
not
can't have
even about what
conversation?
you're saying.
Yeah. The
We
Can't
can't
problem
have
have
here
that
is that,
conversation.
let
conversation.
me tell
This
you,
is not what we are discussing here. That is not the topic
I
here
know
today.
more about visa and application. I have to correct you. Karimo has no power to take to assist her to the embassy. Maybe she has been working it before. That is possible. She might have been saying,
She was
okay,
not
I will
working it
help.
before, Madam
Can
Nurse.
I
She was not
just talk,
working it before.
please? Please, let me talk.
Don't call
Maybe
her
she knows.
Madam Nurse. You know her name.
My
Her
name
name
is
is on
Ebony.
her profile. Stop
Don't
that
call me
name
Madam Nurse. Don't call me
and
that,
Madam Nurse
please.
that you're talking about.
Karimo might have
What
been
is all
saying that
this?
I want to bring
If
you
your
abroad.
president is saying anything, go back to your president's
If
page
anything
and talk
happens,
about that.
she might go to say, okay, go to the, because if she has an invitation, there's a probability that whether it might be given or not. So Karimo has no power to say she wants to whisk her or to give her visa. That one is not possible. Okay, look at Obi Kubana, chief priest, who was supposed to go for Davido's marriage. They sent all their application, their visa. He invited them for his marriage. It's the job of the embassy to know whether they want to approve or deny him. Look at, according to what the story is saying, that the wife, Chioma's parents, cannot go because they defy their stay the last time they came. They didn't follow the rules. So Karimo or Iyabo has no right or power to whisk her out. They can say, okay, let them apply. You apply. The duty is for you to apply, get the necessary documentation ready. Then you go to the embassy when you have an invitation. You cannot get into the embassy without an invitation. No matter how. That is why you find out that when you go to the embassy, there are a lot of people have there. They only attend to you if you have an invitation or you have a letter that you want to go for a inquiry. Then you go into there, you make your inquiry, you come out in there. So who is
God
Karimo? Which
bless you,
military?
man.
What kind of
God
military is
bless you.
Karimo is that
But
is saying is
did
to
she
coming
do
to
it
get
or
her
not?
sister to
Did she
abroad?
do it or
She
not?
she,
Did she
I
do
don't
it
It's
know.
or
not
not?
possible.
How
She
will I
did not
know?
do it. Ebony said she took
This
her,
people
her
Now what
sister
for
to
do?
the
You
if
don't
embassy.
even
know
though she wants to do it,
what
she
willing
cannot
liar
just
of
Took
the
her
come.
devil.
sister
Did
to
not do it.
embassy as who?
Karimo did not
As
do
a,
it.
as donor as donor for
Ask
what?
Wumi. Ask Wumi if she will tell you the
That
truth.
her
Ask her.
sister
Don't
took her
come
like
and
this as a
self
tata,
force
like
things.
let's go to the
I
embassy.
say
Yes,
Did
ask
she
Wumi.
apply?
No, she did
You go
not
and
do it.
ask her. You go and
Ah,
ask her. It is very easy for us to. It is
eh?
Wumi
very
going
easy
to
to
Tanzania.
comprehend.
Wumi went through the right
Jesus.
process. She went to the
You don't go
embassy.
to
She went.
embassy. You
She
don't get
got
an
the
invite. You
clearance.
just go to a
You
US
get to the
embassy.
embassy and say you can't even
She
enter
did
the gate.
this. She did this. She would not lie about it. She did it.
Oh
1
my
minute, please.
goodness! Why are you talking like this
I
now?
just
Well, ask Karimo now. Was she
Posh,
not part of you guys before? Why would she lie?
To you,
I
is
can
beg.
we
it
not turn this
possible?
to
It's not part
argument? Can
of
we just
us.
make our point?
We are
And
not
this is
part of
just an argument
anybody.
session, please.
Is it possible
Can we
to
all
go
drop our
to US embassy uninvited?
Madam Posh?
Is it possible? You
Madam
ask
Posh,
yourself that
please.
Then
question.
she
Just
took her to a family unit. Family unit.
Oh,
Hey,
do you
yeah.
know?
and you keep
Hold on,
saying this.
hold
Okay,
on,
I
please.
give you the free
There
of
are
consent.
instances where you can do that, please. If there are situation of people do what do you call this adro this people do that, you could come under the influence that there's an emergency or something, and then you want
Without a
to.
doctor report, without any document
Let
to
me tell
back it
you,
up.
if there is
Of
war
course, there are
or if there is
we have to
anything,
back it up
Karimo needs
definitely,
to
but
bring a
saying it's not
paper.
possible is not.
Wait,
You will say if you say there are documents you need to package, people do that. It's not about right. It's not possible. It is possible. It's just about getting
Yeah, we
doing
know
what
it's
needs to be
possible,
done.
but in this
You
case,
understand?
we are talking about in this case, like an individual, she's held with her child, and she just go to the embassy, like her sister just took her hand, like, who is the Karimo, like Donald Trump, like, yeah, let's go. You know, give my sister and her daughter. No, now it is very
No, no,
easy to
no. There are processes.
comprehend.
I understand. There are processes, and I'm sure she's not. That's not what she's saying. Now, please let's not put issue of Karimo. Okay? What we were saying
Exactly.
earlier is that, see, I understand Ebony has, talked about the medical negligence, and she's given that a percentage of 90%. Now I understand. We all agree there is medical negligence, which can actually be 90%. But we are saying the remaining 10%, let's look around it, let's see. The 10% can actually give us even give us 90%, can actually the 10% could turn around and become 90%, in the sense that there are circumstances around even before the nurse came, and even when the nurse left. There has been issues around, and this is where, to actually uncover this kind of situation, we will not just say medical negligence, because there has to be some intelligence briefing. There has to be, investigation. What happened? Let's not just blame it on the nurse. That is what I am saying. Like, now, later on, they said,
Okay,
okay,
can I ask you a
1 minute,
question? We
just a
can
minute.
Okay, let's not
Let me be
blame it
done.
on the nurse. Like the
Please, can I
10%,
just be
can
done?
you please explain, especially on that, and who should we blame the 10% on, and
No,
why?
exactly.
the
That's what I'm.
10% have gotten their blame. The 10% comes from spending, it comes from Baba, and it comes from Wumi. The judge
That is
has
where I'm.
given his own finding to say, Baba, this is what you did wrong. And he also blamed the police for saying, why come you guys did not attend to the bullying, that they should go and reinstate it. They should go back and bring that up and investigate it. And he blamed Baba for him being obstructing justice, because for him to go and bury that child that day, he obstructed justice. And the other 10% also goes to Wumi for her not doing her due diligence as a wife by not forcing the husband to go to the hospital to say, no, Next time your husband is a celebrity, is a star, you're supposed to take him to the hospital. You know, he gave a portion. Those are the people that falls under the 10%. Thank you.
Now, this is
And
where
maybe he has another way of his own 10%. I really want to hear. I like how he has been interacting since.
no. What I'm saying is, we are not totally going to say, you know, this guy has come out to say, before he died, say, if anything happens to me, this is who you should be responsible, who you should hold
That was
responsible.
before they got married. I hope you know that was before they got married.
Yeah. It wasn't long they
Are
got
you aware
married.
of that?
I think he was almost conceiving that boy before they got married. I think it was around